Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another live stream. I'm just going to drop out of sight and get my little toolbox because I'm going to need that for the start of tonight.
Not prepared already, Ginge. What's going on?
Well,
What's going on?
I've had a lot to sort out. Leave me alone. By the way, Ross said that your comparison of me to some middle-aged Swedish guy was fucking hysterical.
She enjoyed that then.
Yeah, she did, which wasn't what I was expecting.
For those that don't know, head over to the Assassin's Creed board game playthrough of Memory 0.01 on the channel. Give that a watch and leave a comment if you also agree that Paul looks like some sort of Swedish school teacher at the opening intro when he's giving the spoiler warning.
Yeah, feel free to do that because the comment will disappear when I re-upload the new version with the setup, which I forgot to put on.
Old age, mate. Old age.
So, yeah, so what are we going to be doing for the next couple of hours? Well, I'm going to be pruning all the mold lines off this little lot. So what we have is it's more Assassin's Creed stuff. Pardon for the jittery focus on the camera, but mobiles, eh?
Who'd have them?
So I need to... These ladders are required. Some of these ladders are required for my next mission, so I'm going to do the whole set because these should be fairly quick to bash out. Fingers crossed. And we now need to upgrade to the full assassins rather than the apprentices. So I've got my 4 assassin models here. Obviously I'm not going to use all 4, but I need to get at least 2 painted. Again, as David said, if you want to help me decide which 2 assassins I'm running with, go watch the video. I'll put a link in the description below to either the original or the re-upload, which has got the... All I did was missed out the introduction and setup of the map and that sort of thing, discussing the objectives, but I want to add that back into the video. Again, video editing is all a bit new to me at the minute, so bear with me, everyone. But yeah, if you want to go and watch that video and then comment which of the 4 assassins or which 2 of the 4 you want me to play with, I shall go by most popular or just make my own mind up. I'm hoping to get the second mission uploaded probably in a week or 2, depending on how things pan out. So that's what I'm going to be doing. What are you going to be doing over the next couple of hours, David?
What am I doing? Well, I have an Underworld's Warband to finish.
Okay.
So I'm finishing the Nethermaester Shadowstalker 1.
So you finished assembling your Skaven. You're now going to do the other one, yeah?
Yep. And then I just might get a chance to throw some primer on them tonight.
Ooh. I mean, to be honest, you never know how it's going to go, but I am hoping to be able to get to the stage where I do prime mine as well. And I want to get the airbrush going if I can. But we'll see how it goes. Sometimes things don't go according to plan. So I guess that in terms of other things we've got to talk about, there really isn't much. I want to, as I said last week, Ricky, a friend of ours, got the Firefight starter set and has been attacking it like a man possessed. To be fair, he's let me down. I thought he'd have the whole thing finished, but he hasn't quite got there.
It's because I borrowed him at the weekend to
I mean, he has
helped me out. So he built stuff.
Yeah.
But he hadn't got around to painting it or priming it yet. The other reason I think
he's put some paint on it now.
Well, don't forget I haven't had Discord for about 4 days.
Oh yeah, and he's been sending me the pics as private messages, so you may not have seen them tonight. Maybe the first chance. But I mean, he's assembled everything and he's started to get paint down on the enforcers. So I've got. But as I said, I've got a few pics as I promised everyone, so we'll do that at some point. The only other thing is I've really been enjoying Dice Tower's new top 100 list, but we'll get to that later, so I'll share that with you.
And I am hyped as fuck about that new game that I kickstart back, because I managed to get a chance to play it on Monday, but we'll touch on that a bit as well.
As we normally start with what hobby did we do this week at club, do you want to take it away as you're on a bit of a
Star Scrappers Battledrill high? Yeah, so Star Scrappers Battledrill Kickstarter. You can buy the files after now as well anyway. Did you download any of them pickies, Paul, that on the Discord from the game? What's it called?
Oh no, I didn't.
Do you want to do that a minute, and then we can throw them up in a minute? I don't sigh at me, old man. Should be more organised.
I can't.
Because my videos
is on Discord, correct?
Yay!
Because if I do, it'll kill your video.
Yeah, I've got no way to get around that either.
No.
So, anyway, 3 to 6 miniature aside warbands. The game recommended 6 to 8 pieces of terrain. Me and Ricky went, fuck it, let's treat it like Infinity, and absolutely lathered the table in it. Plays on a 3x3. Considering it was our first game of the rules, Ricky had looked over them briefly in the day. I'd printed them out and gave him a quick 5-minute skim. We got 2 games in 3 hours. So it is really, really good. Combat and damage is brutal. Absolutely brutal. At the moment, because we're still playing with the V1 rules, there's only 3 scenarios. One of them's get into the center, get back to your deployment zone, get rid of a piece of rock. That scores you 3 VP. How the victory point system works in Star Scrappers is twice your warband miniature count. So we were playing 3 aside, so that was 6, and then add 1. So it's first to 7 VP wins, with the only caveat being if you completely wipe your opponent off the table, it's an auto win.
Whenever that happens.
Yes.
Okay.
So, game 1, I kind of smashed Ricky. It was 7-3 in the end.
Okay, that's fairly convincing.
We went in, did our stuff, then we shuffled up again, rolled again. Second game we had was extremely tight. Me and Ricky were on 6 points each, and both of us were hunting for the weakest model on the opposing warband to kill, because it was easier than going and getting another piece of treasure and going back to spawn.
Okay, so you both were using the same strategy to break the tie, effectively.
Yeah. So that turned into a really good, really close game. My mini was on its last legs. It was down to 2 health left. Ricky did technically enough to kill it. However, Star Scrappers uses an action points-based system. So I think they call them adrenaline points. So that'll give you like 3 points to spend. You can spend 1 on a normal movement. You can spend as many as you like to do a jetpack move, which is basically as many action points as you spend multiplied by your base distance. So if your base move is 4 and you spend 3 action points on it, you can move 12 foot across a 3-foot table. It's insane.
12 inches.
Yeah, well, 12 foot. Yeah, ignore me. A foot, 12 inches. And then there's shooting, and then there's also something called power up. Now, on your little stat cards, there's several different stats, and if they've got a little plus symbol next to them, you can spend your adrenaline points to boost them. So typically, these are your attack rolls or your armor. It's a really nice system. So, say you've got 4 attacks. If your opponent's in cover, you're down to 3. You can spend a power up, and basically, however many points you spend on power up is extra dice that you add to your pool. You roll your dice, 4s, 5s, and 6s as successes. You compare that against the jink value of what you're shooting at, i.e. how slippery it is. most of Ricky's stuff was Jink 1, with his leader being Jink 2. Those Jink values then cancel successful hits. So if you Jink 2, you're always looking for 3 hits to even get a damage through.
Yeah.
Then on your damage, each weapon has a damage table of 1 hit, 2 hits, and 3 hits. Depending on how successful you are is how much damage you do. So certain weapons have massive damage plus after effects if you get 3 hits through.
Oh,
or they're
right,
a little
okay.
bit weedy, like a single hit.
Okay.
So
but
if
each
you've got
weapon profile has its own
1 column, 2 column, 3 column to refer to for how good you are.
Not quite the same, but very similar to Guild Ball, where number of successes alters the actual outcome, but obviously less convoluted.
You then compare your damage value to the armor on the miniature, and your armor takes off. So if it's 3 damage on your armor 1, you're actually only taking 2 damage on your mini.
So
nice and simple.
Jink reduces the number of hits, and then you've got armor to reduce damage as well. So there's quite a lot of mitigation in the game then.
Yes, there is, but when something does 7 damage, when it's and you're 12 damage mini, you can kind of understand it.
So actually, although the actual hitting is quite tight, you know, where you might only be rolling 2 or 3 dice, because correct me if I'm wrong, successes are always 50-50, correct?
Yeah, 4s, 5s, and 6s. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah.
And then certain minis have special rules. So, like my leader called Melody had a basically camouflage. You can't shoot her outside of 6 inches. So you've always got to use your short range weapons to hit her.
Right.
But it's a really, really good game. I'm sure Ricky will pop in later and be absolutely raving about it because he already wants me to print yet more minis for him, and we will need to have another game. So that is a thing.
Very cool. Because actually, I mean, when we talked about it, I made that schoolboy error when I looked at the rule system. I thought it looked a little bit shallow, but as we discussed, I failed to take into account the actual sophistication in the mission structure. Because the missions themselves have got quite a lot of elegance to them, haven't they?
Yeah, we kind of played the basic, what I describe as a basic bitch mission, the go into the middle, get your pieces, fuck off.
Yeah.
But that's the easiest scenario, and I didn't want to overcomplicate things with it being our first game.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably a good call to make. Then you have a similar scenario where you go into the on the center line of the table. 10 inches from each center is like these caches that you can pick up the rocks from, which is mainly how you're scoring your objectives.
Yeah.
You pick the rocks up, then you go to the space booth in the center, and you discard them to get your victory points. You also get additional victory points if you hold the caches each side as like a board domination, which is quite cool.
So you've got two completely separate dynamics in play.
Yeah. And then the final scenario in the starter set, at least with the first edition rules, is a train scenario. So basically, the defender's got to keep the train rolling, get it all the way across the board. As soon as it touches the other board, it's a major victory for the defender. The attacker's got to try and stop the train, hijack the minis on the train, and also sort out the power pieces and capture the train as well. So there is some quite cool tactics across the 3 scenarios, even though there is only 3 scenarios, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was my week in gaming. I'm super hyped about it, and I'm going to be playing again, and I'm going to be trying and convincing other people to get their asses on board with it, because again, the commitment to it is 3 to 6 minis. That is it.
Yeah, it's very hobby light, which is that's
gorgeous.
always a draw. Always a draw. So, for me, on Tuesday night, as I predicted last week, I ended up doing a board game. I played Scythe, for those that know it. It's it's like a Euro game with each person controls a faction, and you have to do, sort of civilization type things. You've got to build structures. It's set in an alternate future universe where people have built mechs, so you can build mechs, and then you put workers out on a map to generate resources, etc., etc. But it's just a glorified point salad at the end of the day. The theme is fairly thin, and to be fair, the element of combat is fairly thin as well. It's not like a full-on war game. You just occasionally will get into conflict with an opponent over a particular tile, or also, like, the way it works is as you complete certain sub-objectives, like build all of your mechs, put out all of your workers, you tick a box towards the end of the game, and the first player to sort of complete 5 of those sub-objectives ends the game immediately. And winning a battle is one of those things. So obviously you can use an aggressive move which you can win a combat to actually end the game out, particularly if you're already in a dominant position. As long as you've completed at least 4 of your other objectives, of course. But yeah, I got absolutely fucking caned. I got about 30-something points and came 3rd or 4th, I don't even know. The winner got over 70, so it just goes to show you how bad I got my ass handed to me. But it was still a good game. Still enjoyed it very much, and like I say, it was my second time of playing. There were 5 of us in the game, which I think its maximum player count is 5. Don't quote me on that. It could be higher. I'm not entirely certain.
I have another thing to talk about. You just reminded me.
So, to be fair, for anybody who's played Scythe, they know that there are loads of different scoring metrics. You like, how many hexes do you control? How many resources do you have? How many of your objectives have you completed? But all of those scoring opportunities scale against your popularity score, which is another metric that you track during the game. So if you don't realise this early on, you can be a bit of a gung-ho hero and sort of go for loads of your other objectives and neglect your popularity. And lo and behold, when you end the game, all of your scoring opportunities are worth markedly less. And that was the schoolboy error I made.
You pointed it out the first time you played it as well.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I realised at the end of the game, when we realised just how badly how badly I'd had my arse handed to me. The first time I played the game, I was actually sitting directly opposite the part of the board with the popularity track. And I remember thinking, oh, hang on a minute. And you have that sort of light bulb moment. But I was sitting at the opposite end of the table this time, so it was like, oh, I don't know. What's going on? And to be fair, there is a lot to track in the game. Not in a bad way. I mean, if you like thinky involved board games, that's good, and I quite like that sort of thing. But obviously, I did rather miss the crucial
point. Yeah,
because that's the other thing, that there's no shame in not being the player that ends out the game. Yes, you're not going to have completed all 5 of your sub-objectives. You'll only have 4. But if you've absolutely pumped your popularity score, you could still win by doing other things other than being the one to end the game. So it's quite nice that dynamic is separated.
Yeah, it's not a be all and end all, is it?
Yeah, being first across the line is not necessarily the route to victory, which is quite cool, I think.
Yep.
So yeah, that was what I got up to.
What a bitch.
What are you bitching about?
The fucking state of this GW Mini and trying to fucking build it, because it's easy build, but again, it's fucking elves, isn't it? So they're fucking awful to build.
I don't know, mate. You tell me.
They're spindly as fuck.
Detailed and delicate is the phrase, not spindly as fuck, you heathen.
Spindly as fuck. Spindly as fuck is the engineering term, and is probably what was utilised by the design department when they designed these pieces.
Yeah, so while I was prattling on about Scythe, you went, oh yes, that reminds me, that was something else I wanted to talk about. So what was that?
Legion.
Oh, the deal.
The offer.
Yeah, the deal of a lifetime.
Did you pull trigger?
No, I haven't got any money.
Did you contemplate your life decisions?
No, to be fair, when I found out that using the army builder, that my core game starter set will build legal armies, I didn't feel any pressure to pull the trigger on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because again, it's expansions for armies for a game I haven't even played yet, and it's like cart horse scenario.
Yeah.
Even though it was a good deal, for anybody that doesn't know, it was. Now, what was the website? Was it
Giftsforgeeks?
Giftsforgeeks, yeah, giftsforgeeks.com. I think until May the 19th.
So it's still live.
You can go and buy one of the Star Wars starter core sets. So either the classic Vader Luke one or the... what the hell do they call it?
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars one, well done. If your first purchase is one of those, you can add 100 quid's worth of other Star Wars models to your basket for free. Now, the prices aren't the cheapest, and you can probably find the items for a few quid cheaper elsewhere. And it does have to be items that they carry in stock. You're not allowed to do like back order stuff or order things, you know, that you might necessarily want. But it's still a good deal.
Stop being a bitch.
So
I fucking give up with this cunt.
If anybody wants to go and binge and buy a crap ton of Star Wars Legion, it's not a bad little offer to get in on.
And link will probably be in the description in the video below.
I will put a link indeed to the Giftsforgeeks site in the video description for everyone. And as I say, I think that's open till May the 19th from memory. So don't hang about. Because the other thing I imagine is stock will start getting hammered. Yes. You might struggle to find things to add to your basket if you leave it a little bit too long. But yeah, I did consider it, mate. As I said, what I did was I went to an army builder website, had a quick look because I already own the basic game starter. So I thought, well, that's fine. I can get the Clone Wars one as well. I don't mind. More toys is more toys. But it was like, well, I can make because 800 points is, I believe, a standard game in the parlance of Legion. Everybody can correct me if I'm wrong, because that'll make me look foolish, but I'm sure it looked like that was the case. And the starter set is already over 800 points. So, bearing in mind I've not painted it, I've not assembled it, I've not even played it in cold blood. Do I really want 100 quid's worth or 200 quid's more Star Wars stuff?
No,
probably not. So there you go, everybody. There's a hobbyist showing restraint. You won't see that every day.
Yeah, and you definitely
note it in your
definitely
calendars.
Won't be seeing it at the end of the month.
What, when we go to UKGE?
Mm-hmm.
Talking of which, I don't know if anybody else is excited, but I'm certainly thinking about it a lot more.
I've got my tickets booked. Did you book your train ticket, for fuck's sake?
It's the only thing I need to do, train.
Fucking old, man. I'm going to have to message you constantly till you order it, aren't I?
I'll do it this week. It'll be fine.
When I actually have a working phone. The Skaven were easier to build.
Really?
Yes.
So what is it that's making them harder? They push fit, but in a not very intuitive way, or what?
I've just had... hang on, let me see if I can pull this up to the camera and it actually be semi-visible. Bear with. I'll make sure my Discord's on in the background so I can see. Come on, focus, you bastard. So her arm that's got that dagger in...
Oh, hello, we have somebody in chat. That's Tim. Hello, Tim.
Hey, Tim. That arm goes in a tiny little fucking hole here.
Oh,
when
Jesus.
You push the back cape on.
Yep.
But it's not a properly fucking keyed location, so it falls out constantly when you try to put the back bit on.
Oh.
So all I've done is just put glue on this, fucking slap it in, trim off the nub, and then fucking slap that in.
Right.
Fucking GW.
So you've got, basically the problem is you've got layers, things gluing to things that you've already glued instead of everything keying into one piece.
Or, I don't know, being a sensible size so that it all just push fits together rather than has a nub that's about 3 mil across.
Because the other thing, you're using plastic cement, aren't you? Which doesn't go off straight away.
No.
Yeah. I can see why it's giving you stress. Now you've said that.
But I don't trust easy build minis to hold themselves together long term without any plastic cement.
No, I'll be honest. I don't like using super glue unless I've got no alternative. It's my least favourite glue, and the reason for that is because it ages. You know, I have got models that I've assembled 5-10 years ago, and effectively they're just falling apart because the super glue's degraded and it's really brittle, and it literally just crumbles. You know, probably everybody else is probably shouting at the screen, why you shouldn't be so old, it's your fault. But yeah, so for that reason I don't use super glue unless I have no fucking choice, simply because I know I'm going to be revisiting it to do it again.
There's a tiny little nub on the top of that arm right there.
Mate,
it needs to key in.
We're never going to see that. I mean, you can barely see it and you're looking at it in the fresh. Right, Tim. Let me show Tim what I'm up to. So David is bitching and moaning about Warhammer Underworlds, as you can probably tell. I'm doing this,
and I was so positive last week.
I've started my video playthrough series on Assassin's Creed, the board game. So in order to play the next mission, I need some of these ladders, which are now allow the bad guys to access the roof areas, and I need my upgraded full-on assassins to replace my apprentices. So at the moment, I am prepping these models ready for priming. What are you up to tonight? He's put there. What's his comment? He's just finished dry brushing the villain set from the Dungeon Masters Kickstarter. Sculpts by Boris... I apologise, Boris Volozin. Ooh, I haven't seen that. Yeah, Snakes and Ladders. You got it. Yep. Same idea. So Dungeon Masters Kickstarter. Does that one ring a bell with you, David? I know that you're you're a doom scrolling Kickstarter whore. Did you see that one?
Fucking hell, Jesus! Fuck me sideways with a fucking screwdriver. You don't pull your punches, do you? Well, no, I haven't seen it. I'm not a Kickstarter whore anyway. I'm only a Kickstarter whore if it's 3D printed and I can have my deliverables within a suitable time frame to ease my fucking I want to buy shit issues.
Well, as Tim's doing minis, I imagine it wasn't a 3D print Kickstarter. So, are you going to use them for Dungeons and Dragons, Tim, these minis, or have you got them just because they're a versatile set of miniatures to have for anything?
Okay, that one fits slightly better.
Metal! Oh, man, I love metal miniatures. Are they they must be hand sculpted then. Oh, he's using them for Frostgrave. Right, okay.
Frostgrave?
When I may go and have a quick peekaboo at that. Are they a company that does like serial Kickstarters, Tim, or was it like a one-off, get it and you're done? Or are they a bit like Reaper, where they do like a Kickstarter a year or something like that with... Thank you, Windows.
What's Windows just decided to do
it's just got a notification popped up telling me that I have my virus and threat protection is intact. Thank you for that. I know it is. Go away.
Oh my fucking god, are you kidding me, GW? Don't be a cunt.
You see, we knew the GW fanboying wouldn't last. Last week you were fucking giving them the full-on Frenchie with your Underworld's love. Now already we're back to scathing hate.
It's not scathing hate. You build these cunts.
I don't know. It's shocking.
I'm about as reliable as the British weather.
So, have you played Frostgrave before, Tim, or is it going to be a new experience for you? Because we've played a fair bit, haven't we, David?
Level 35 wizard.
Broken.
No, they're even more broken when somebody decides to try and puppy kick out of somebody that's just starting the game. So the two level 35 wizards on the table decide to puppy kick the guy that's played a few games and is being a dickhead. Ain't that right, Paul?
Well, I am a fan of defending the underdog.
And Johnny Rambo.
To be fair, the last time we played, I don't know if you remember, but I pretty much retired my orcs. No, he hasn't played FG yet. Well, enjoy, Tim. There is plenty in there to enjoy. I own all of the supplements except for the last one that was released during lockdown with the solo play rules in it. I think
the night, vampires and things, or did you buy that one?
No, actually, haven't got the vampire one either. I need to maybe get that so that I've got a complete set.
Well, there's a little event coming up in a couple of weeks, isn't there, for that?
What do you mean an event?
Oh, for fuck's sake! You are really slow. UK Games Expo.
Oh, well, no, because I'll probably buy the digital version. Because I'm going off books. I prefer digital versions. Not that the Adobe ones are particularly great for the Frostgrave books. I can understand why they've done Adobe digital editions, because they're virtually impossible to copy. But they are a pain in the arse to have to use that Adobe digital app. It is bollocks.
Yeah, but that's a drawback to fucking Adobe, not necessarily to the guys doing the book.
No, like I say, I can understand why they've chosen the platform, but the platform is not good. Anybody who's used Adobe Digital for various documents, digital editions of things, can sound off in the comments. But I've had issues where the fucking illustrations don't scale. Sometimes the illustrations don't even download when you fucking install it. It's a right pain. And then trying to get it to format correctly on your device, because it's not like a PDF. It has a flow format to it, but it doesn't fucking work. You end up with all sorts of broken layouts. Particularly illustrations and tables. If you've got your window or mobile scaled or orientated in a way it doesn't like, it'll just fucking hide a table from you by chopping it off and burying it off the page, so you can't actually view it until change the fucking font size to push it to the next page. It's such a pain.
The only thing I hate more than Adobe Digital Editions is Issue.
Oh, is that digital magazine thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I've not played with that.
The brochure for work is on there.
Pardon me, everybody, coughing in your ear.
And it's a fucking nightmare. And I'll tell you what else is a fucking nightmare. I've just broken the chain on this Mini because it's connected by about fuck all.
Whoops.
Trying to cut it off the fucking sprue. Not even handling the piece, just cutting the fucker off the sprue.
Right, I'm coughing now. Stop. All your salt is making my hacking cough start. It's like I'm allergic to salt.
I'll bring a big tub when we hang out at the fucking UKGE. You better buy me a salt stone.
Oh dear. Oh.
Tim is blessing you.
Gesundheit. In a good German way. Danke, Tim.
What have you been up to this week, Tim, then, other than the painting? Have you done any hobby gaming or tabletop gaming even? Not hobby gaming, you know what I mean.
Yeah, we've never really asked you, Tim. Do you play every week? Do you have a club or anything like that? Yeah, when he said Gesundheit, I was referring to the issue. So he obviously thinks it's dog shit as well. Either that or he said it was too close to a tissue for him to leave it. Dad joke incoming.
Doesn't it? That fucker you shared today had me in fucking stitches.
Well, doesn't it? Or
yeah, the doesn't it one.
I like the charity ball for the people who are struggling to achieve climax. If you can't come, let me know.
Yeah, that. To be fair, that was a day or two ago, wasn't it? That one.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of days ago. Best one I've seen in a while, though.
Me and Paul are quite partial to a dad joke.
I have more of an excuse.
Excuse me?
I suppose you are a dad.
I equally have an excuse. I have a small child.
That's true. Whereas I have just a small child's mentality. So as Tim... No, not really. There is a club. But ever since the event... Oh, God. Yeah, okay. So... Oh, that's a shame, Tim. So, did the mysterious virus from beyond the fucking gates of Antares put your club into hiatus, then? I imagine, to be fair, there's probably a few gaming clubs that did fall apart. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Because, you know, it was a long time, and, you know, certainly in some towns. I mean, look at, if you lose your slot in a venue, you can be knackered. We were quite lucky here.
But again, we were lucky down here. I know I had a bit of a moan about the requirements, etc., but it was one of those things of, at least as soon as we were able to get back in through those doors, kind of thing.
Yeah. Like you say, you didn't lose the venue. Although it's gone up in price for you now, isn't it?
Yes. But to be fair, it's probably fucking due it, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, Christ, mate, it was good value back when I used to run the club years and years ago. So, if they've only just put their prices up now, you've had a pretty good run.
Why is she missing half her face, like some sort of fucking demon from beyond the grave?
Is she wearing a mask of some kind?
Yeah, she's got a hood that I need to put on in a minute.
So he's put, club is partially closed. He doesn't really feel comfortable around people in closed spaces at the moment, especially since most people stop wearing masks. I don't know if you've got respiratory health issues, Tim, but if you haven't, I wouldn't be too worried. I mean, obviously being a pharmacist, I'm quite up on the scientific evidence as it stands, and clinically COVID's already mutated into a far less serious upper respiratory tract problem than it was initially, as these viruses tend to do. So, speaking as a professional and a pharmacist, don't let fear ruin your life, mate, because it's really like I say, unless you've got severe and debilitating respiratory problems, in which case you probably walk around with a portable oxygen tank anyway. So you know if that's you. Unless you've got that sort of thing, don't let it destroy your life. Don't stop living your life because of COVID fear. It's not necessary. Be more worried about getting behind the wheel of your car. In terms of relative risk, driving in it or being a passenger even in a motor vehicle is far more likely to do you serious harm than COVID is, statistically, if that helps.
She is spindly as fuck.
To be fair, the Skaven were pretty Epic Skulls. He's a bit asthmatic. Yeah, I'll be honest, I was quite ill at one point, but I never produced a positive test. So I either had a variant that wasn't being registered by the tests, the lateral flows, or I just had influenza, because, I mean, that's a possibility. Because obviously the vaccine program crashed and burned here in the UK. I don't know how it went in Germany, but I think we saw a lot more influenza this winter than we've seen in previous years. Just because of the fact so many people weren't vaccinated.
Yeah, well, again, they were focusing on fucking COVID vaccinations, weren't they, rather than the flu?
But it's like I've said to you, mate. Even your asthma withstanding, don't be overly fearful. Certainly not to the point where it stops you stop enjoying your life, because, you know, it's not that big a thing.
I better sleeve some decks, hadn't I?
Is that what you'll go? Mini's all done. You're gonna do your other admin tasks for your game, are you?
Yeah. Well, I've got to get it ready for Expo, haven't I?
Oh yeah. Well, apart from parceling everything up, my stuff's all prepped, ready to go.
Are you bringing your new stuff?
I won't bring everything. I'm not bringing all my minis. To be fair, it really depends on if I get any of the new stuff painted, because particularly if we're playing in the gaming halls and stuff, I want to bring painted stuff. I don't like, you know me, I don't like running non-painted if I can avoid it.
I know we've had that joke before.
Sorry?
But they're painted plastic. Ricky's here.
Hello, Ricky. Too many randos come in. I think at this point,
Ricky's the fucking madman.
At this point, Tim, you're conflating being an antisocial bastard with COVID fear, by the sounds of it. Yeah. Which is something I entirely fucking understand. Not being the most sociable and outgoing individual in the world.
Everyone's a bit of a cunt sometimes.
So yeah, totally get that. So Ricky's, I hope you're hard at work, Ricky.
No, he's too busy drooling.
Why? What's he drooling at now?
Star Scrappers.
Oh, God.
If you'd have been here on time, I've already said my piece on Star Scrappers. Go back to the beginning of the live stream. Watch it afterwards. See what I said. But yeah, it's fucking awesome, dude. We know.
Yes. Yeah, I've been antisocial before. Yeah. That's it. Me too, Tim. Me too.
We've had to drag Paul kicking and screaming to the pub before because he didn't want to go. Please, more Star Scrappers. Are you there, Paul?
Yes, mate, I am. I'm just trying to take the mold line off this assassin without destroying all of the detail. Obviously, I'm going to have to destroy some of the detail.
What's the lesser of two evils?
Because game board minis.
Off PVC.
Rage. Still.
Speaking of which, I'm playing AOS next week, and then the week after I'm playing either League of Infamy or Dungeon Saga.
Well, go for League of Infamy. Have you actually had that out in Cold Blood yet?
No.
Well, do League of Infamy then.
But that requires me to do some painting.
Oh, God. Get off your allotment and get a paintbrush out.
Paintbrush out, so I'm just not using it at the moment. I'm busy sleeving things.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy AOS, to be fair. I'll be interested to see what you make of it. Because
it can't be any worse than 40k. Sorry.
Are you doing... Because you're doing sort of AOS light, aren't you? You're not planning to go balls deep into all the...
I don't think so, because
who are you playing against?
It's a gangbang. It's a 2-on-1.
Right.
It's Ricky and Luke.
Yeah.
So Forces of Order versus the Iron Jaws.
So you'll probably end up doing a light version, because Luke really enjoyed it when him and Jake just sort of, or him and Vixen just sort of did their own version of AOS sort of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Okay, my leader can fly, sir.
Fly?
Yeah.
How does that work in the rules? Because it can move through occupied squares as long as the destination square is empty.
Yeah, and also you don't take damage from lethal hoaxes if you fly through them.
Okay. I've seen that on Gambit cards before, but I've never seen it actually on a model. It seems fairly strong. Having said that, I suppose all of the Nighthaunt ones can move through models.
And it doesn't break them as a warband, does it?
No, far from it. They're not the strongest. See, Tim, the pub is no problem. Currently, he can't be arsed, though. That's fair. That's pretty much where I am with pubs, to be fair, Tim. I'm not averse to going. It's just that I'm not that thrilled or excited to go.
Well, the last pub we went to didn't have any fucking beer.
Yeah, that was a bit of an extreme scenario, though, wasn't it? See, that's the other thing. I much prefer beer on tap to bottled or whatever. But again, I don't enjoy it or want to do it that much that it actually gets me the house to go and do it. Ouch.
Yeah, again, it's not the cheapest of hobbies to have either, is it? And we've already got expensive ones.
Well, to be fair, you'd have to tell me. I don't know what it costs to get a pint at a pub now, but I imagine it's a few bob. Like I say, I literally cannot remember the last time I bought a pint. Ouch.
Last year?
Oh, yeah, I suppose. We did drink out at UKGE.
Most evenings.
It's one of them things you don't really look at the prices, though, do you? It's part of the event.
No.
It's not like, popping down the local.
Is that even a pub where there is no beer? Well, no, to be fair, because the second they said that there was no beer, most of their fucking audience left.
Yeah, it was a very weird experience at UK Games Expo last year, Tim. Because obviously, with Virus from Hell not having gone away...
It was half the size it usually is.
And I think everybody was having huge logistics issues. So, like, all of the eateries, all the pubs ran out of food, half the pubs ran out of beer. It was fucking crazy. Hopefully we won't see nonsense like that this year.
Return of that.
Yeah, we can
fucking do one if that's a thing.
Yeah. Don't want to see that again.
Don't worry, I can always bring the snack suitcase again.
Yeah, not quite the same though, is it? I mean, to be fair, even the hotel ran out of breakfast items, didn't it? By the end of the day, end of the week, it was bonkers.
Yeah, you could have toast or toast.
Toast or toast, and a fried egg if you're lucky.
They should get their license revoked, Tim. Yep, that is a thing. Unfortunately, it's a Weatherspoons, so I doubt that's going to be a thing anytime soon.
Tell you what, it wouldn't have happened in Germany. You Germans, you take your beer seriously, don't you? Which is not a bad thing.
I fucking loved that time I went out to Germany for that show and just drinking.
Where did you go?
Hanover. Agritechnica.
I keep meaning to. You can buy a lot of the. They're not the same, obviously, because they're bottled, but you can buy a lot of bottled German beers at that Beers of Europe. And they do deliver mail order sort of thing. I keep thinking, and I miss, because obviously when I used to live down here, I used to drive down there once a month, once every 2 months, and do a big bin shop of, you know.
A few nice beers, craft beers.
Yeah, do UK and foreign beers.
Belgium. And...
do you know what? Belgian beers are one thing that I can just leave. Thanks very much. Yeah.
The thing is, they'll go one of two ways, don't they? They're either wheaty as fuck. Yes, Tim, looking at tractors and stuff, that is the industry I work in. So.
Yeah, it's in agricultural
equipment.
Machinery in it, mate, basically.
Yeah.
Seed drills and shit.
So yeah, when that was just before COVID, so that was 2019. It was my first ever Agritechnica, and it'll probably be my last as well. But fuck, was it a fun show. And drinking and everything else. So. And then the other thing was mates from uni that I haven't seen in years that are working in the industry as well, knowing I'm out there, just coming up, wandering onto the stand and stuff while I was there. Everyone loves a tractor, don't they, Paul?
To be fair, yeah. As I say, for me, it's a nostalgia thing. I've seen a fair few of them, being from a Lincolnshire. The Lynx. He's not bad for mould lines.
Kinell, you found the golden sample?
I mean, not all of the models are atrocious, to be fair. And even the similar sculpts, you can get good ones and absolutely horrendous ones. Those apprentice assassins were a real mixed bag.
I tell you what I like about these Nethermaze cards.
This is the new format, yeah.
Yeah, throughout all of the cards, they've included artwork that relates to all of the factions that have come before.
Okay.
So on this one, you've got the ogre guy from Harrowdeep.
Harrowdeep, yeah.
The chaos sorcerer.
Right. Tim saying he likes heavy engines. Drove Patriot carrying trucks when I was in the Bundeswehr.
4 axles and full off-road, yeah. What's it called? The Centaur from the Godsworn Hunt.
Okay.
There's loads of stuff. Then there's some that feature the new Skaven Warband, because obviously these are the Skaven cards at the end of the day.
Yep.
But it's just a nice little nod. Do you know what I mean? Again, the Cainite one that Ricky's got.
You say it's a nice little nod. A more cynical David would have said, "Look at them recycling art, cheap bastards."
They don't recycle art. It's not recycled. again, here we go. Here's what the Skaven do best. Apparently murdering parts of the Crimson Court, Paul.
Yeah, in their dreams, little squeaky gits. Ooh. Tell you what, there's some nice details on this assassin. He's got like Venetian masks. Got two Venetian masks on his backpack. That's rather cool.
But yeah, they're really, really gorgeous. And they're all like that.
I must confess, I do like the new cards with the bigger art. The graphic design and layout on them is much better than the old cards.
And the fact that the Rivals deck is all labelled so that if you do customise your deck, you can just go back to the style that we like to play.
Yeah. Because to be fair, I mean, when you look at the old cards next to them, there's just like an unnecessary amount of border and stuff. And all they've done is take that out and expand all of the iconography to fill the card space, which is such a smart move.
More Magic style.
Yeah, because you don't need all that framing with a card because it's a physical object and it sort of frames itself. It's one of them things, I guess it's easy to miss, when you're designing, because you're not designing. You don't design it as a physical object. It's just like a piece of art.
Digital flat work.
But actually, when you see it done, you think, yeah, that's top level design. That is realizing it may look not so good on the, what's the word?
On screen.
Yeah, on the mock-up. But wait till it's printed. It'll look banging. And it does.
That's fucking annoying me.
Oh
dear.
Something annoying you, David. Let's write it down. This is such an unusual occurrence.
Oh, don't be a cunt.
David getting annoyed.
Who put a penny in the twat?
He's thinking about who framed Roger Rabbit. Oh, because of the talking about frames. I like your brain, Tim. I like where you've gone with that.
Da, 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 da.
That is a cracking film. For everybody, all you youngsters out there who haven't got a fucking clue what Tim's on about. It is a very good film.
I would like to raise a counterpoint.
Have you seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, youngster?
Yeah, I think so. Once when I was young. But have you had any luck catching those swans?
Catching swans? What the fuck is he on about?
Answers on a postcard. One of the best films of all time, sir.
Oh, I think you've mentioned this before, and it went over my head then as well.
Cornetto.
Yeah, still not getting it. Oh, is this bloody Shaun of the Dead guy? Hot Fuzz or one of them?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not keen. Take them or leave them.
I don't like World's End. That's the only one I don't like.
I prefer. I mean, funny enough, he's turned into quite an actor, really, hasn't he? Starring in all the Mission Impossibles and shit.
Simon Pegg, yeah.
Simon Pegg, yeah. But actually, what was the sitcom that they did before it all, where there are a couple of deadbeats living in the flat? It was I think they were the same characters as in Shaun of the Dead, but it was like their early years. That is funny.
Hang on.
Yeah, I agree, Tim. One of the best made animations out there. The thing is, when you watch documentaries about how that was made, there's such a lot of groundbreaking technology went into it to get the live actors, you know, far more sophisticated than just sticking a green screen up. You know, some of the they had like almost simplistic robots. What's the word? They don't mannequin type things that they then had to overlay the animation with. It's just so clever, absolutely clever. Plus the fact it's got some great actors in it. I mean, Bob Hoskins, fucking hell, that man can act. Long Good Friday, anybody? Classic.
Spaced on Channel 4. Is that what you're on about?
Spaced. It may have been. I couldn't tell you what it was called. But as I say, I just remember that they were a couple of losers who just used to sit in a flat and play video games all the time. And they had that weird woman who used their neighbour, I think. But it was just funny. It was funny in a very English way.
I.e. no other cunt from any other country understands it, but the British are fucking falling out of their seats at it.
Yeah, it's just like...
British humour, boys and girls. No one understands us, but actually...
No, I also, I guess, to be fair, it's you had to be their humour, innit? It probably doesn't appeal to anybody born 20 or 30 years before, because it's just like that. It's just the moments in it, you just think, yep, I did that. That's why I find there's quite a lot. I mean, I know it's not to everybody's taste, but I find there's quite a lot of funny moments in Big Bang Theory. But it's because it's like I am a fucking freakish geek.
No. No, you can go fuck yourself, sir. I hate American sitcoms.
I do generally. Oh, yeah, well, to be fair, Bob Hoskins is good, but he's not that fucking good, Tim. The Mario Brothers movie, oh my god, what was the man thinking? All I can say is I hope he got paid in bodily organs for the fucking humiliation that was. Jesus wept. That was a piece of shit.
There was a Mario Brothers movie?
Pardon me, coughing and...
Does nobody ever speak of it because it was so terrible?
The Mario Brothers movie was pretty bad. I'm just noticing my mic's redding out when I'm coughing. I need to stop that. Right, okay, I have scratched all of the mould lines to my satisfaction off that lot of plastic. So, let's do a couple of things before we get back to some hobby. Let us...
Show off shiny pictures?
Show off shiny pictures. We don't want that camera layout. That's crap. We want this one. So, transition. Here we go. So, last week we were talking about Ricky getting his Firefight starter. And he's been sending me pictures all week of his progress. So
it's like a little dealer for you.
These pictures may not be in any particular order, but we've got enforcers here with some nice purple colour to them. So he's managed to get that lot done. This is some assembly pictures of his enforcers. The old Ultramarines lurking in the background there.
Ultramarines don't lurk, they stand valiantly.
So what were these? 3-piece? They're all 3-piece sculpts by the looks of it, Ricky, these enforcers. This is more assembly. It's a lot of enforcers here. I thought I had a picture, because you've done all of your... Here we go. So he's got all the Marauders assembled as well. Here's your Marauders.
Oh my! I just saw my old wet palette lurking in that shot.
So here's your Marauder miniatures. with the big guys at the back. Those jet bikes. Riderless at this point. I do like those jet bikes. And there's the I don't know the term for them. The big psycho marauders in power armor with massive oversized weapons. Pause. So yeah.
Pardon me.
As you can see, Ricky's a bit of a machine. He's basically got everything assembled. That's your old wet pal, mate. Yeah. He's got everything assembled and some paints on the go. I noticed you haven't got the Oh, he's got them on there. So I was going to say you hadn't got the riders on the wet jet bikes. I wondered if you were painting them separate, but obviously you've got them on there now. To be fair, they're coming along. You got what, 1, 2, 3 colours on them, and some details. Looking good, mate. Looking very good. So what else have we got here? So that's what Ricky's been up to. A week on Firefight. So the only other thing that I wanted to share with everybody was I've been really enjoying the latest top 100 video series from Dice Tower. So for anybody who doesn't know who Dice Tower are, Dice Tower are a YouTube channel based in Florida, and they basically specialise in covering everything about board games, playthroughs, reviews, you name it, and it's board game related, they do it. One of the things that they always do at least once a year is a top 100 games of all time, and they tend to get different staff from
to do it.
The crew to do the board game lists. Generally, it's Tom, who's like the head honcho, Z Garcia, and either Mike or Canada. What's his first name? The chap here on the right hand side as you're looking at that screen. I can't remember his first name. Canada is his second name.
Tim, I will hold my hand up and admit that I didn't know who Dice Tower were until I asked Paul about it pre-stream, because board games aren't hugely my jam.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you do make a valid point, Tim. They are so huge, everybody must know who they are, but you never know, do you?
Some of us are uncouth.
So,
i.e. me.
Doing the top 100 this time, you've got from left to right, Chris Yee. Oh God, I can't remember that lady's name. Then his wife, Wendy Yee, and then this Canada chap. So it's not the usual suspects doing the list this time, which is nice because we're seeing some games that
weren't shown before.
That we don't see, because again, even when Tom and Z and Mike do their lists every year, I mean, yeah, games drop in and out of the top 100, but still a lot of it's the same games because these people have their favourites, which is, see you later, Tim, which is, to be unexpected. But as I say, they film them in blocks of 10. The videos run to about an hour and a half, plus or minus 10-15 minutes. And obviously you're going to get 100 games for each person, because each person on the panel gives their top 100. So you're going to see there's some crossovers, but I bet you're going to see 200 plus board games spoken about, and these are people who play board games for a living. So if you want an insight into games and board games that you might want to pick up, or etc., it's so watchable. It really is so watchable. It's informative. It's entertaining. I love it. And if you enjoy these videos, explore the rest of their channel, because they do loads of other top 10 lists. They'll do like top 10 board games for 2 players, top 10 long board games, top 10 family board games. You name it, they've got at least one top 10 list for it, probably 2 or 3 that they've filmed over the years and just updated it. So they are a huge colossus on YouTube, very entertaining. And that's something I've been enjoying. I think they're filming 3 videos a week, so they're up to about, I think they did 50 to 41 today. So there's like basically the end of this week and next week's coverage will finish it, I think. But it's a good few hours of viewing. Again, you can have it on in the background when you're hobbying. Obviously there is stuff to watch because they do show you screenshots of board game layouts and that sort of stuff, so it's not necessarily an audio only experience. But yeah, I'd recommend it, and I really rate them, and I've been enjoying it a load. And that's it really. I don't really have anything else to talk about this week. It's been a bit of a slow week. It's what David and I said last week. I think
everybody's keeping their powder dry.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a wave of announcements end of next week, running up into Games Expo, or in a couple of weeks' time. But it's quite a quiet time at the minute. So, just realised I don't actually have my mobile on charge. It'll be a miracle if it doesn't go flat.
Makes it through.
Yep. I shall quickly plug that in. Not that we're using it much tonight, but there we go. Now then, do I feel... What's the time? It's coming up for 20 past. Should I crack out the airbrush? Is that a thing? Yeah, I would sub to him. I mean, if board games, you fancy exploring the world of board games, Ricky, definitely sub to them. If you just like entertaining YouTube content, sub to them, because used to be a guy called Sam who's left now. He works for Mythic Games, I think. But the chemistry between Tom, Sam, and Z, when they used to do their top 10 lists, the chemistry was amazing. There were parts of it was roll on the floor funny, because they're just sarcastic as hell and ripping the piss out of each other, and telling sort of stories of when they've played games. And again, they can be as salty as David, particularly Z. Z knows what he likes, and when he doesn't fucking like something, my God, do you know about it?
Here's a question for you, Ginger.
Uh-huh.
Zenithling.
What about it? That's not a question so much as just a word.
Zenithal. Should I buy a white ink, or should I carry on using white paint like I have been doing?
Right, okay. What would my input be? My input would be, don't feel that you should buy a white ink just because. If you're happy with the results you're getting with the paint, stick to it. I've just switched to ink from paint. And yes, I don't do as much zenithling as you've done in the past, but I find the inks a little bit annoying because the coverage is so weak. I suppose it gives you more control. It allows you.
I love a bit of control.
Yeah, thinking about it. All right, David. DW's in the house.
Hell, that's a blast from the past.
I would say, mate, knowing your mindset,
hobby on hard mode.
Yeah, you probably would benefit from doing it. because
I'll get some ordered then.
Yeah, because it's like I said, you'll be able to pull off some really subtle transitions in your zenithal because the ink, you can, you've got so much control with how much you put on, and because it doesn't cover the same as paint, it's pros and cons. Because the other thing it does make zenithaling a bit more time consuming. Because you don't just do one pass and you're done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The white ink, you'll definitely be doing 2 or 3 passes to build up the layers.
Yeah.
But again, it's not necessarily a bad thing because you do get a better zenithal when you're finished.
Did you see Ricky's comment?
What? Don't think it's possible to be more than David.
In regard to how salty I am.
Oh, freaking! To be fair, you're probably right. I mean, I'm not saying they're in the same league. I'm just saying there are similarities, Ricky. I mean, I'm not trying to stretch credibility here, but right. Let's
feel like my reputation precedes me.
Let's sheet down. Hello, everybody. Because me and my airbrush, it all tends to get a little bit way. So,
are you having a date with your airbrush, sir?
I am. I'm gonna cover everything up because I don't want to get back spray on my mobile phone, or my keyboard, or last time I did this and didn't sheet down, I absolutely slathered my keyboard and mouse, which didn't go well.
I mean, didn't last time you sheet down, it actually saved your keyboard and mouse from being melted?
Right.
As well, because... Dude, are you sheeting over your webcam as well? No, you're not.
No.
I'm confused. I can just see...
I mean, the sheet was going over the webcam because it took me ages to get it sorted, and I've managed to knock everything on the floor while sheeting down. But do you know what? We got there. My mobile's covered, my keyboard's covered. Those are the things I'm most worried about. Oh, don't grow old.
It's a trap.
Right, I've lost one of the ladders. Where is it?
There's a surprise. All my Shades by decks are now in a box.
4. Right, 12 ladders, 4 minis.
I'm gonna do a thing, I think.
Water pot. Airbrush.
Do these fit in? Oh, yes, they do. Oh, but then I've got conundrum. I don't know. I'll leave that for now. I'm going to probably get my friend that's a sign writer to do me a label for these.
How big a label do you need if he's a fucking sign writer?
Yeah, but I'm just going to have it done in... I'm just going to get him to do it in a nice vinyl.
Okay.
Because then I can peel it off without absolutely ruining a sticker onto the box.
What do you want a label for? Is it one of your miniature storage boxes?
No, right. So B&M have these little grey boxes.
Oh yeah, like for screws and stuff.
Yeah, except this one's for like craft items.
Yeah.
And I've got one for Gaslands, and then this one's currently full of League of Infamy miniatures.
Yeah.
But I was just contemplating possibly putting all of my tokens for Underworlds in here.
Yes.
So that they're
in... Good thing to do with Underworld tokens. Put them in something like that.
Segments. Because then also I can then put this box in my other storage box, and then we're happy days.
Sounds good.
I don't know what to do now, because I've done me Underworlds. I don't know whether to get my airbrush out or what.
Well, what do you need to do? What hobby jobs do you have pressing? Always shake your polyurethane primer, people.
I know what I've got to do that will require an airbrush. Prime this month's painting competition.
Oh, yeah.
That I was playing with on Monday. Bear with me, boys and girls.
Do you think I could get away with Assassin's Creed chests for objectively objective, or is that taking the mick? He's gone. Because obviously the painting competition for club this week, or week, painting competition a week, that'd be a thing, eh? The paint competition this month is to paint some sort of objective markers or similar. But
I didn't hear a word of what you just said because I walked away.
That's all right. I was talking to everybody else in the crowd. I realised you'd gone. I was just sort of saying, do you think I'd get away with Assassin's Creed chests for objectives?
Fast travel stations, you prick.
Well, well, I've already painted them, so that's a complete cheat.
Have you painted it in May?
Yes.
Yeah. So therefore, not a complete cheat.
Yeah, but I may as well paint something else. If they're done, I may as well do something else, surely. Surely.
I don't know. I need to turn this box into a magnet box anyway.
Oh, we're getting a bit heavy-handed with the old airbrush here.
I've got some Yotharis Guardians to prime as well. I had a thought the other day about how many fucking Underworld's warbands I own.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
9.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, it is 9.
It is, because we counted them up before. Because I'm one behind you, and if you send me the big fat skeletal, that's him, sepulchral guard, then I'm 9 as well. And we only have one crossover, because we both got sepulchral guard, which is like freakish. We got 17 bloody, well, 17 different warbands between us.
Out of 18 warbands.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Because it's not even planned, is it? It's just sort of the way it's happened.
Right.
Stop talking about Underworld's warbands, or I'm going to have to go and buy that poxy ogre.
You should, dude.
To be fair, I should buy it because I'm in love with the minis. And it's not often that I get excited about something just for the models, is it?
Drowned Earth was the last thing, I think.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Normally I'm all about the game, with the miniatures being an afterthought almost.
Saving grace kind of thing.
Yeah, but you see, how many times have I said it that I love that warband just for the minis? I should go and get the damn thing.
I'm having a sort. What are you up to tonight then, DW? Other than lurking?
Yeah, are you hobbying, David? Pray tell, sir. What goeth on?
Surprises. Intriguers. How was your AOS game as well?
Is that what David did on Monday?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, give us the TLDR version, mate.
I think I got enough glory counters now.
Oh, stop it.
Stop what?
I've just leant on my mouse because I'm concentrating on my airbrushing. Luckily, I haven't done anything ridiculous to OBS, like stop the stream or anything stupid. At least I don't think I have.
He's not up to much, really.
No. Okay. That's fair. That makes David and I feel better.
Hey, I'm doing things, just maybe not as efficient as you are.
You know, when people say, "Oh, I'm not up to much," we get that glow of smugness when we're up to stuff, don't we, mate?
Are you putting words in my mouth again?
And only words, just so we're clear. Tell you what, talking about Assassin's Creed as we weren't,
iOS was a lot better than any 40k game he's ever had.
Okay, well that sets the bar pretty low, to be fair, but it's worth knowing.
Any advance on that?
Fuck, now what's going on?
I don't know. Oh my god, his PHR's been shipped. Fucking brace yourselves, boys and girls.
What's this, David?
Yeah.
Because I think you went a bit mad, didn't you, David, and bought basically one of everything in PHR.
Including a behemoth.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you saying.
Not to say I'm jealous, but where the fuck are my Where the fuck are my fucking behemoths? I know technically I can buy 2 of the 5 that are coming, but
Okay. Well, this is turned messy. Why is
that's what she said.
How is this doing? Oh my Christ. There's loads of it. Okay.
That's what she said. I'm such a child.
So what factions were you playing in iOS, David?
I think it was the Hadrons versus Slaneshi Demons.
Okay.
Looked like an alright game.
Did you play full-on 3rd edition with grand strategies, battle tactics, all that jazzamatazz?
The full fat version.
Yeah.
Ow, my elbow.
Considering these are quite simple models, they're actually a bit of a pain in the arse to do these ladders because...
Everything shadows itself.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of like, okay.
David went for a Behemoth, Tiamat, Heavy Dropship, Athena Fighter, Scout Walkers, Apollo, Bombard, Jet Skimmers, and a starter box. Because fuck it, why not?
Christ almighty. That's another project I need to crack out. My fucking drop zone. Right.
Oh, Ricky, if you're still here, don't bother sending me any pictures or anything until tomorrow night, because my phone's being repaired, so I won't see it.
Oh, did you get it into the repairers today?
Yeah.
Okay. When are you getting it back? Do you know? Or is that a daft
Tomorrow.
question? Okay, that's pretty good.
Tomorrow.
It's pretty good. As I say, I'm looking forward to you.
The best was the lad was like, "Oh, how can I get in touch with you?" I'm like, he's like, "Can I have a phone number?" When the only phone number I've got is the one in your fucking hand, mate. So you're gonna have to Facebook message me or something.
And then wait for me to log on to my PC.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, how are we doing for time? 20 minutes. Oh no, I thought I'd do much better than this. I always do this.
I overestimate what you're going to get done in a stream.
Yeah. Set my ambitions way too high. We haven't even got the zenithal on them yet.
Fucking hell, dude. Sort your life out.
Fail! Abject fail!
He played as close to full fat AOS as we could. Sky Doors versus Slanesh. 4 full turns with Doors wiping the demons out.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think... Did you enjoy the whole battle tactics grand strategy thing? I've said before, I think the best thing about AOS 3rd edition is the actual mission structure. I like the complexity they've got there. It really gives you enough to get your teeth into, without, you know, repeating ourselves too much. There are still far too many fucking individual rules on every model, but in terms of the actual core game, I like it a lot. And I really like the command point system. It's so much simpler than the fucking convoluted nonsense that is command points in
40k.
40k. There's, you know, you've got just enough options to make it interesting, but not enough options that you get a fucking migraine just trying to decide what to do each turn.
Spare cards, spare cards, spare cards. Ah, this is a slight predicament.
What, mate?
With that box with all the tokens in.
Yeah.
I've run out of storage room.
What, you filled it with tokens?
Yeah, with the tokens, the cards, and the boards, I now have no room for miniatures.
Okay.
Is there a go buy a 4-litre box to put the miniatures in? Maybe.
Is this one of your really useful things?
Yeah, this is one of my really useful boxes.
It doesn't sound that useful if you can't even get the minis in it.
Just... Anyway, I'm going to show off pretties to boys and girls on the stream. If I don't get caught up in my minis.
Right. That's done. Cool.
So if I go rummaging... Sometimes all I think about is you.
Okay, Paul. Let's see if we can get this paint back in this bottle.
Right, this is what I was on about earlier. Boys and girls at home.
Gloves on. Oh, this is Battledrill, or whatever.
Yeah, this is Battledrill. So you've got your ADR value, your speed. It's flipped because it's a fucking mirror camera. Your attacks and the number of dice you've got, your jink value, and then your armor, and then the special rules for each particular mini. You're similar to what's the game that we like to play? War Machine. Got a little set check boxes at the bottom to colour in as you get wounded.
Malifaux's the same.
And then there's your weapons options and your damage outputs. So, but it's a really cool game. And then if I go for a little crummage,
that's what I wanted.
Oh no! One of my minis has fallen off.
What? Fallen off the base?
Yeah, he's fallen off the base.
Oh no!
Sad times. He's also taken a chunk of resin with him because he's been super glued to the fucker. He lies in the middle of doom.
Okay.
Okay, Ricky. Maybe shout Star Scrappers a little louder for those at the back that didn't hear.
Right. Black is down. Grey is next. Okay.
Grey, not white.
No. Grey.
I thought you were painting in grey now so that you could... What's it called?
Well, the problem is, schoolboy error, I have left my white ink at the back of the cupboard where I've sheeted everything down. So, I'm not going digging for it now. It's just tough luck. But to be fair, I'm not too concerned because my intention with the assassins is to paint them with standard paints. So the zenithal on these guys is more of a visual cue.
Guide, yeah,
exactly. You've got it.
Oh, fuck it. I'm going to have to glue him after because he's falling apart. But, here we go. Here's a Terron Gunslinger. If that'll actually expose okay. Hang on, let me just turn the brightness on this shit down. There we go, that's better.
Oh, this is going well.
So yeah, he's not too bad. Dave is jumping in with a need a bigger box, that's what she said. And then we have my objective piece. Now, this I have to give the guys at Hexy Digital all credit for, because they shipped it pre-hollowed to save me on resin. Look at the size of that for a hollowing hold.
Jesus, they've done that job properly.
Yeah.
To be fair, that is something you did say in the other videos. I mean, obviously you're not a 3D printing novice by any stretch, but these are some of the best pre-supported
I've ever seen.
Yeah, when they say ready to go, this is as close as you've ever seen where you go, yep, no, you're right.
Yeah. That I will agree with. Right, now where did
Shut up. I think that's my phone dying.
I thought I had some fucking catalyst somewhere for my print super glue.
Another hobby product I could do with buying at some point.
Do you want me to buy you one and bring it up to Expo? Because it's only a couple of quid, boys.
I'll buy one. I need to go shopping on Amazon anyway.
True. There we go. He's set now. I'll turn the lights back down. Turn the lights down low, boys and girls. Mm-hmm. Look at this boy, Paul. If I get it to...
Bloody hell. That's nice. You have to get some paint on these minis, mate.
I'm going to. I'm just about to start throwing some primer down, boy. I'm just turning the compressor on.
Are you going to do a speed paint thing or what?
No, me speed painting. What fucking kind of heathen do you think I am, boy?
True. What was I thinking? Captain Hard mode.
If it ain't hard, don't fix it. And there was an innuendo in there.
Somewhere. Buried deep.
In her endo.
That's what she said. Come on. Bloody airbrush.
Let me give my poly primer a good fucking shake.
Polly wants a primer.
Put my black fisting glove on. You're not using gloves, are you?
Yes, of course I am. I was only using one, but now I'm using two. Because mess.
Oh shit, my needle's stuck in the barrel. Kind of means I've probably not cleaned it properly. Let's just give it...
Do you think? I must confess, that's never happened to me.
It forever happens with me, but that's because I just field strip and
call it done.
Yeah. Because I'm not a heathen. Where did my flow improver go? There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Blow it hard. Fucking chat has just turned into a degenerate fucking, that's what she said, situation.
To be fair, that is pretty funny. Just blow on it. Suck it.
Suck it harder.
Genius. Absolute genius.
It was genius, so.
Childishness. It's a mark of genius. I read it somewhere.
Is that why I'm better at it than you?
Ooh, shots fired.
There's quite a lot of lads interested in the look of the minis for Star Scrappers as well.
I'm not surprised, to be fair. They are extremely good looking sculpts. I can imagine that the miniatures first, guys, would be like, yep, I'm all over that.
I don't know whether to do them on like a Martian base, Paul.
In what do you mean? Red?
Yeah.
Like the classic Mars red?
Yeah.
I mean, you can pretty much base them how you like, can't you? Starcraft Scrappers isn't... It's fairly abstract,
they're all like on a deserty western base. But...
The only thing is, remember, if you're going down that route with your basing, it's going to dictate your colour palette for your miniatures. Because there's certain things that are just not going to look great on red, aren't there?
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily going full Mars. I was going more realistic Mars than the fucking Adeptus Mechanicus Mars that you see on GW bases.
Oh, right, okay.
You know me, I like realism.
Okay.
Hobby on hard mode, remember?
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Right. Let's get this washed out before it overheats, and then we're done. With 8 minutes to go. Almost like we planned it.
You did. I've only just started picking up the primer.
Come on.
But yeah, they are gorgeous minis, gorgeous sculpts. And I might even try some OSL.
Okay. I mean, they're fairly big, chunky boys. Those sort of techniques might work quite well on them.
Well, I'm thinking of these crystals that they're fighting over on the objective.
Sure.
Doing some OSL on that.
Yep.
Because that's the other cool thing. If you hold a piece of Hexis crystal, you actually get more adrenaline points.
Okay, just while you're carrying it.
Yeah, just while you carry it.
It's like a temporary buff sort of thing.
Yeah, but it then also gives you a conundrum. Go in and get it, and don't cash it in straight away.
Okay.
So you've got your extra ADR, or cash it in ASAFP because you've got a massive red dot painted on your forehead. Because if your opponent kills you before you cash it in, you can't get it. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? Talking to you, there are so many nice little touches to the way that it's been designed. I'm impressed with what you've talked about in terms of that design. Because again, it's the difference between making a game convoluted in its execution or giving it depth for you to make certain decisions during play. And it seems to have really hit a nice balance point.
Oh shit, oh fucking hell, that was a save and a half.
What?
Just dropped a mini and caught it between my knees, and obviously it's a 3D printed mini, so that could have been a fucking disaster.
Sort of like clamp shatter.
That's 2-star Scrappers minis primed. Ricky, did you get any primer down on yours, boy?
Right. Pretty much done. Airbrush is clean enough that I won't lose sleep.
I tell you the other thing that's hard is fucking airbrushing while you've got an incense stick in your room because the smoke is stinging my eyes.
Oh dear. My fucking... I apologise to everybody, but I think my audio is going to be way too loud for this live stream. Normally, I'm on the quiet side, and I've sort of like tried to tweak it up, but I've noticed I'm clipping the top line, like when I laugh and things. So I apologise if everybody's having to sort of like fucking pull their earphones off or.
To be fair though, you just need to set that noise gate lower.
Yeah, I should use the noise gate feature on Banana. I've tinkered with it. It's just that I don't want it so harsh that it cuts.
It cuts out, etc. Yeah, but then also, you know is that necessarily a bad thing if it's only doing that when you're coughing or when you're about to burst people's eardrums because you're laughing?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Do I make a valid point?
You do. Do you know what? When we're finished streaming here tonight, I might have a play with the noise gate and see if I can get it tweaked so that it clips the coughs, but doesn't affect.
Why you've still got a cough?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, no. Everybody gets bonus points who puts in the chat, Paul, you're airbrushing without a mask, you prick. And I go, yeah.
Yeah, but you also smoke, so...
Yeah, that's true. David's 3 weeks to UKGE. I take it you're coming, DW?
Yeah, I think the plan is he's coming up Thursday night and then he's heading home Sunday evening.
Okay, so he's doing the whole thing.
Yeah, he's a heathen like us.
Boom, son. Should be good. I was thinking about I don't know what to do about filming there. I think the best thing to do, we might try and get some shorts. Film some YouTube shorts maybe.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how inspiration takes us. Right, let's get rid of the sheet. Get rid of the sheet! As we are now no longer airbrushing and everything's safe again.
Everything's safe? What's this?
Tell you what, this is a genius purchase by my missus. Artist's apron, everybody. You should see the crap that's just saved from going on my clothes in just a few minutes of airbrushing. Genius purchase. See if we can set these guys up for everybody at home.
I was ridiculed when I made it as a suggestion.
Yep. I'm going to put my hand up and say I was wrong. I was as wrong as I could be. Now then, what does this actually look like? Ooh, overexposed and terrible, but it's fine. How long does this primer take to dry?
What, the poly?
Yeah.
How thick you put it on?
Not so thick. Just feels ever so slightly tacky to the touch. So I'm guessing
I leave
it's
it 24. I leave it 24 hours to cure. For fuck's sake.
There we go, everybody. Zenithals applied. You can just about you probably can't see it on camera, but you can just about, if I bring the light in, you can just about see the zenithal on the ladders. The top rungs have got just that little bit more paint. Top of the rungs have got just that little bit more paint. And I think it's subtle enough that it'll just elevate them from being completely flat and rubbish. So you think only a madman would get out his army painter speed paints and paint them now? Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Off you go then.
No, because it's just gone 10 o'clock. And I shall take your expert advice and leave it. I shall keep my powder dry.
That's what she said.
So that's it. Right. Damn it. That's it, everybody. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, DW. Thank you, Tim. We hope you all got a bit of work done. We've had a pretty good night here. Getting stuff cleaned up and zenithaled.
I got some underworlds built and underworlds sorted, and now I'm on to priming the bastards.
Just before we go, mate. So you've got these Assassin's Creed ladders, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Do you want me to bring one up on stream?
Have you painted them yet?
I've painted one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Bring it up. I'm just thinking about the rocks round the base. The
I
little pebbles.
haven't painted the rocks fully, but...
Okay. Do I just paint them the same as the base, or should I paint them a different colour? What do you think?
I'm going to paint the... probably the same as the base, I think.
Yeah. I think if I paint them different, they're just going to look weird.
Yes.
Because it's the same sort of cracked paving look that's on all of the other minis, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I think what I'll do is I'll neutral grey them the same as the paving and then slap a wash on them and call them done. Anyway, I think that's us about done.
Yeah,
as I said before,
same place.
Thank you for everybody who was here with us. We hope you got some work done. And we will see you next week. In the meantime, please check out my Assassin's Creed playthrough video. If you want to tell me which of the 4 assassins I should be using for the next mission, you can leave that in the comments of the video.
You can also ridicule him for looking like a Swede.
Oh, although I will warn you, there will be spoilers. So obviously if you own the game and are waiting to play through it, maybe don't check out the video. And if you can find the chance to like, share, subscribe and do all of that stuff that helps YouTube, passes on to other people and grow the channel, we're so grateful. It helps a ton. And if you just want to have some banter and some nonsense, just comment below. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's good, bad or indifferent, or even frankly irrelevant. Just
did you see I was wearing my Assassin's Creed top today in honour of you fucking painting some Assassin's Creed as well?
You see, I missed that. Total schoolboy error. I missed that. Anyway, good night.
Have a good evening, boys and girls.